This is Sophie. Sophie is an architect and she's amazed by the technologies and how they are changing design practices today. This is Sophie's grandmother who has no idea about relation between design and technology. When Sophie is visiting her grandmother and they start to talk about technology while eating cookies, Sophie gets so excited and starts to explain potentials of it in design field. She say architecture is an industry defined by evolution, grandma, and adopting new technologies in design has allowed us to be more creative and experiment with tools that traditional design tools never allow. Grandma gets interested in the subjects and wants to learn more. Sophie continues intriguingly. Technological advances change our understanding from manufacturing processes to design processes. Okay, Grandma, I'm going to explain you everything. First, I need to explain you the effects on design process, then how technology affects the way we build, finally what we can do about visualization process. Let's say you have an abstract idea. The process first starts with defining the goals and constraints of the project which you need to set an algorithm. Then with the source code, which is an interpretation by computer design software, you will get an output which could be images, sounds, architectural models, animation, and much more. Like in this, it aimed to integrating the performative capacity of biological structures into architectural design and testing the resulting spatial and structural material systems in full scale. With kinetic architecture, movements can be added to design with transformative and mechanized structures aimed to change the shape of design so design could support the needs of people on the inside and adapt to elements on the outside. It's also need to be supported by creative coding and many sensors to achieve actual working design output. Like in this, it acts like as a sound tracking instrument indexing time and temperature with a shape alluding to a woman's Victorian era undergarment. It stitches together material experimentation, structural innovation, and a computational form, and pattern making into environmentally responsive form. Since nature simply recycles everything and adapts to challenges, nature itself is a huge inspiration for designers. Biomimicry emulates design and ideas that can be found in nature, and smart materials, called also intelligent or responsive materials, are design materials that can vary with changing conditions, stresses, and external stimuli. Like this pavilion that designed to imitate nature so it results in a load adapted and therefore highly efficient structure. And this one, it is a wall-mounted bioreactor that aims to encourage people to use algae as a more sustainable component of a nutritional diet. Sensors and creative coding are also a great help for designers to grab maximum efficiency from their design. Like in this one, it designed a dynamic building envelope to make the best use of incoming sunlight. An algorithm computes the panel orientation that will provide an optimal balance for design. Digital fabrication uses the digital model to realize the design either by additive manufacturing like 3D printers or subtractive manufacturing such as CNC machine laser cutters. Digital fabrication allows to build various geometries precisely and enables to build very fast by prefabrication. This pavilion is self-sufficient wood pavilion manufactured by CNC machines and assembled in only 2 weeks. Facade responsive photovoltaic gaining, solar protection, insulation, ventilation, and lighting. In summer, shapes as a solar barriers, and in winter they allow the maximum light inside. With conventional methods, this pavilion, because of pieces having different geometry, would increase the manufacturing cost significantly. Another exciting fabrication technology is 3D printer that allows us to produce complex shapes using less material than traditional manufacturing methods. Look at this project, where translucent plastic modules are digitally designed and 3D printed. Each module has individual light sensors and photovoltaic to track sun's exposure in daytime. Unit glows at night for different length of time according to the solar exposure they received and performs daily travel of sun. Technology also changes how we present our ideas. The concept of virtual environment is not a new one, but with today's display technologies, it's much more affordable and accessible to the public. Technologies like virtual reality and augmented reality are easing the client and designer communication and encouraging collaborative design process. Also, technological advances in interface design allows us to build interactive software visualizing very complex data networks and therefore makes them easy to understand. Virtual reality is a medium composed of interactive computer simulations that sense the participant's position and actions and replace of augment the feedback to one or more senses, giving the feeling of being mentally immersed or present in virtual world. This VR game is designed to communicate the threat of climate change more effectively. Since greenhouse gas emissions will affect the climate long into the future, current scale of the climate change is difficult for public to comprehend. But virtual reality takes the people to the future reality where long-term environmental changes can be experienced personally. Here's a great example of spatial augmented reality. Particle Falls is a real-time animated light projections that visualizes air pollution using air quality data. On background of falling blue light, spots of bright colored particles represents the presence of pollution particles detected by air monitors. This interactive installation is a good example to explain how interface design creates a possibility of building visual and tangible relation between complex data. People can see social and intellectual networks behind architectural projects by putting physical project cards on an interactive surfaces. Thanks for listening, Grandma.